Love this guy.
I honestly believe the entrepreneurs are the only people that can actually change this planet.
All right, says we're live. It is day 2. Can you believe it? Oh, look who just showed up. Look at that guy. That's Russell Brunson. Hey. I think you're on screen. I don't know. I'm just turning my camera that way, but this is day 2. You guys go enjoy the day. Crush it.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you are. I had so much fun going to the Facebook group and reading all of your big takeaways. In fact, I was going through and everyone I was reading, I was liking them. And after about an hour of it, Facebook popped up and it thought I was a bot and said, you can no longer, you're banned from liking for the next 24 hours or something.
One of our biggest fears was obviously we've never done a virtual event. And so this wasn't just like, hey, we're gonna have a camera and we're gonna stream to Zoom. We wanted to make something as close to a virtual, like a live event as possible.
Nobody wants to go attend a 3-day webinar or a 2-day webinar because webinars, honestly, like after the first hour and a half, they're boring.
The best part about live events is you get a chance, after you learn something, to go out to lunch and talk to people and get to know people and you build relationships. Like, how do we replicate that? Like, I don't know how to do it. To set this up, we had a room with like 18 different computers, had 18 different Zoom accounts.
We had Jamie Smith on our team. He literally created an app and it automatically assigns everybody in their members area. So only 350 people are seeing this link. The next 350 people are seeing that link.
You ready for this? I would rather be doing this live in person, yes. Pray the Zoom doesn't have a Zoom out today.
We're actually gonna be going through and doing these little breakout rooms throughout. And so for most of you guys, this will be your first time ever doing a breakout room like that. It's my first time, it's our first time doing it. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna have a workshop where I got something for y'all to do. And we're gonna spend 5 minutes together doing that. And then at the end of it, we're gonna push a button and everyone's gonna go into these breakout rooms. There will be small rooms of 5 to 10 people in each of them.
Russell wanted to have it chunked down into, like I said, those 350 size groups of individuals, and then also have the ability to send them into breakout rooms. We'll have it right here ready to go. And then when Russell's like, okay guys, we're gonna go to breakout rooms, we gotta run down this line. Awesome. Zoom, however, has limitations. So if you have 300 people in a room, you can do 50 breakout rooms. If you have 400 people in a room, you can only do 30 breakout rooms. And so that went on, and Russell's like, well, I want groups of 5 to 6 in each breakout room. Well, if you do the math, 5,000 people divided by 5 is literally 1,000 breakout rooms. When you say, if you wanna go back and say, all right, you're going to breakouts, then we'll all push the buttons and then you come in and say, hey, I wanna start bringing people back, and we'll start bringing people back.
300 plus breakout rooms. You gonna work?
If it doesn't work, I'm just getting in my truck. All right, we rolling. So we are currently adding everybody into their breakout rooms. Some of them we have to do manually.
So if they're disappearing, is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Right now, as long as they come back. It's the magician type of thing.
It's been interesting. About 50% of people have opted not to go into break rooms. They just, maybe they're a little more introverted and they're a little more nervous to actually go and network. But the people who have loved it. Like, they're blowing up our Facebook page.
I was really surprised that there were so many people brand new and they were from all over the world.
You had an opportunity to kind of explain what you just worked through and maybe give feedback to each other.
So we were able to use the functionality of the technology to help send everybody to breakout rooms where they're able to virtually network and get to know other folks and see faces and then with a push of a button, bring everybody back into our main room. At a live event, we can never do that.
Same thing, I tell you the strategy, so you're like, oh, this is why I need a story. This is the Epiphany Bridge story. Like, oh, I get it. Now you might say, okay, step number 1 is a step 2, and I can break through the attack.
Let me ask you this: when Russell first, did he come to you, or like, how did it work out? Did Brent come to you and say, hey, this is what we're doing? Like,
Shh. Sorry.
There's a Zoom room out right now.
Okay. This happens. Events.
Day number 2 now was very similar. I had a lot of presentations, but one thing we did on day number 2, which was exciting, was we showed the 2 Comma Club documentary. And the reason why is because typically at Funnel Hacking Live, there's the education side of the business, but there's also like, what's the vision, right? Where are we trying to get to? Where are we trying to go? We have this experience where people come on stage and win a 2 Comma Club award, and at Funnel Hacking Live, when we give everyone the 2 Comma Club awards, that it serves as like, there it is, like that's the goal, that's the thing I'm going after, right? And I was like, how do we replicate that here? I don't even know how to do that. We're not gonna fly everybody in to give them their awards. I told them ahead of time, I said, imagine that these people you're learning about, you're seeing their stories on the video.
I just want you to sit back and really during this time is for you to sit back and like imagine yourself like, these are people who are just like me. They're just a year ahead of me. Like, what can I do? What can I commit to? What do I need to do to make sure that this is a possibility so that next year at Funnel Hacking Live, I can come on stage and get one of those awards. That's my goal, is make this the motivation, the thing, the anchor point for you to be able to say, look, that's the goal, that's the mission, this is what I'm gonna go accomplish.
And I was really nervous about that part. And we thought, let's show this documentary. Again, those things I'm worried, like, people are gonna watch it? Are they gonna bounce and take lunch break and miss this part and not come back for the presentations? But instead, people sat there. It served as that anchor that we needed to get people to, like, this is where I'm trying to go, this is where I'm getting to. And the documentary served such a good job to help set that vision and give people a North Star to start running towards.
Right now, everybody go crazy back here. Let's go crazy. What's up? We're about to start day number 3, and everybody's back here going crazy, which is so awesome. I want to end first off, just telling you guys how grateful I am. Every single one of you guys, if you're here today, if you have that pull, you felt that call to contribution that Alex Sharfin talked about, and you're here today, it's because there's a calling. There's something outside of yourself pulling you towards something, the call to contribution. I tell people it's a calling from God, and each of you guys have it, okay?
So going into this event, the question was like, how do we know if this is a success or not, right? Like, we're doing this, there's a lot of work and effort and time and energy and everything. And there were kind of two metrics that we were judging things on. Number one was leverage. You think about if I sit down in front of somebody for 3 days and I talk to them, let's say it's 8 hours a day for 3 days, that's 24 hours of my time to help somebody understand something. And what's amazing about this is we had over 5,000 people register to be part of this. Over 3,500 people were live at almost any session. You take 3,500 people times 3 days, I don't even know, thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of hours was able to go out and affect people. If each of them just affects one person's life, that's 5,000 more people's lives to change. But if they're entrepreneurs, they learn how to use these businesses and these tools. What if they each of them helps 10 people or 100 people or 1,000, right? And I have no idea who it is in this audience, like which ones are gonna be the ones to do it, but that's why I love Funnel Hacking Live, is because I know that the 3 days we put in, the Funnel Hacking Live, it starts a ripple effect that affects millions and hundreds of millions of people throughout the world. The second side of it, obviously, is we're a big believer in the value ladder. Obviously, the yellow brick road, like where do we take our customers to? And for me, my goal is always to get customers into our hiring coaching programs where I can work with them closer, I can serve them at a closer level, we can do more for them. Part of the event, we obviously made an offer for the 2 Common Club X coaching program. And this is the first time we've ever opened it up virtually ever. So the question is, will people buy things virtually that they normally would buy at an event? There's the energy of the room in an event. You see people doing the table rush, you see all those kind of things in it. And so I think you lose a little bit of that virtually, but at the same time, we really get hundreds of people to join us in the 2 Common Club X coaching program, which means when this process ends, it means I have the chance to work with them in a much smaller, more intimate group for the next 12 months or longer. That's a big win, because when someone has the chance to come to our coaching programs, work with me and work with our coaches, we can take them so much further, so much faster.
Like, there's so many things that hold us back, and you've got to be willing to get rid of those things so you can become who you need to be, so you can serve the people you've been called to serve. That's what this game's about. It is the most amazing personal development experience you will ever have. You'll learn so much about yourself. There's gonna be hard times, easy times, fun times, bad times, but at the end of it, who you become will be someone you'll be proud of.
Thank you, Russell, and all of his team. It really means the world to us. For 2 Comma Club Live. Thank you. Ooh, 2 Comma Club. Thank you, ClickFunnels. Bye-bye.
Girls in 2 Comma Club X.
Doing it. I'm all in. 2 Comma Club X. Nothing's gonna hold me back now.
2 Comma Club X. Are you in?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna click it.
Button. I am all in.
I'm Max Illingworth, and I am all in.
I'm Anthony DeGazon, and I'm all in.
I'm all in. 2 Comma Club.